Of the Otters. Long ball. Nicely handled by Dennis Sparks for the MOBA. Cocker into Jimenez. Absolutely amazing steal. Now a little spin move, a little Maradona spin it looked like, but it got intercepted by Bray FC. Jake McCain almost had a shot on goal, but Dennis Sparks took that opportunity away from him as he kicks it out for a throw-in for cross intended for Mario Lin, headed out by Shikali. Spielman on Altman. Sparks on Heo Ortiz. And almost hits the scoreboard, and now for a goal kick for Tormenta. If I was Schultz, I probably would have taken a little time on that one to wait for somebody to get it back, especially because you're in the lead. Anyway, Guerrero takes that goal kick. For the Otters. Otters on the counterattack. It appears to be a 3-on-4 with that back line holding firm for the MOBA. Altman, pressure by Sparks. Sparks with the great defense. Once again, expect nothing less from Erickson. Nope, he's going to go looking for, I believe it was that was Hammer, not Hammer. Now Eagles. Bolton cuts back inside and goes back to Hayes. Throw in for the Omar Giroun. A very, very big threat for the MOBA. When any ball is played in the air, Giroun stands at 6 feet 5 inches. He is a big threat whenever the ball is in the air. Giroun's played center back most of his career and has just now switched to forward for the MOBA. Covering. Spielman tries to get it back as he does perfectly. Gives it back to Sparks. Sparks going to lay it back off to Osterley. Osterley kicks it out. Great kick out as he looks. Osborne. Ball throw in. Headed. Sparks clears it out. In the pass of Smith. Smith needs to go because the goalkeeper for FC is out of his box. And a great dispossession by Whitley as he plays it back into the box. Headed out by Shikali. And we have Hammer. He's up the field. Is Haig into the head of Whitley once again. Whitley's really denying any chance for MOBA as he goes out for Erickson. Lorenzano intercepted by the Eagles. Sparks. Giroun. We'll push off Sparks with the ball back. Giroun and Smith. Smith. And an offside called. Not sure if I agree with that one, but one to try to secure a spot in the playoffs. So we'll see how this Dyer. Now at Y2, I believe that's Kenneth Cocker. Now Sparks with it. Covered by Jake McCain. Lorenzano covered by Jake McCain. Great pressure by McCain. Day. Top right upper 90. So he obviously has some talent, especially from long range. The MOBA need to be aware of. Now MOBA on the attack. Ian Smith has the ball on the left-hand side of the field. Passed by Johnny Evans. Heo Ortiz of the Otters. Back to Altman. Great interception by Lorenzano. Dennis Sparks with a great little touch that gets it to Nick Spielman. Spielman out to Casey Schultes. Asher out Y2. Sparks. Sparks. King has the space. Smith running. Smith. Oh. And the stop. I believe that was Cam. And Cam goes to ground. Sparks takes it. That was a great chance for the MOBA. Just a better defensive play by the Eagles. And the pass. Smith onside. I don't think Smith knew he was onside. Deflected off of MOBA defender Jack Colton. Now on the way for Smith. Dennis Sparks with the nice defensive recovery, and now to Ian Smith. Ian Smith for another goal kick for the Eagles. Taken. Sparks with the header into the Wilfred Williams. King with the interception. Tough to make those decisions in a game setting. Ball played back to the goalkeeper. Micoletta. Nice header by Dennis Sparks. Dennis Sparks and Jack Colton are the fullbacks for today's matchup. Jeroen with the interception. Jeroen out wide to Schultes. Schultes cuts it back inside. Finds Evans. Evans intercepted by Buran Hassini of Bria FC. And then back to Lorenzano. This game, he's played defense, he's played midfield, and he's played striker, obviously, by that goal. But I guess they want some fresh legs out there to get a 2-goal lead against the MOBA. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to tweet out the stream. If you're from Mississippi, feel free to tweet it out too. We'd love to have fans from all over the country, from both teams, here to watch the live stream. Watch a great game of soccer between the two PDL. So that shows how attacking-minded MOBA were in the first half, and it's just sad for the MOBA team to give that late equal. James Smith has been very, very important in that midfield for the Otters. But as I was saying, these teams met up once before, and that was a win for the MOBA. The score was drastically throughout the match, based on what players are playing each position. But it seems to not affect them at all, really, for the MOBA. It seems to actually help them a lot. Instead, he finds Osborne, headed off by Sparks. Nice, aggressive header in the feet of Eriksson. Back to Nico Stutley. Into the way of Ian Smith, headed out by Carlos Sendin. Now to Altman. Now to Ordiaz. Ordiaz intercepted by Sparks. Sparks to Ian Smith. Radoslavich. Janos Gosham goes out wide, intercepted by Dennis Sparks. Spielman. Nice head by Spielman. Tries to get up to Sparks, and Sparks gets it. Looks like a foul from up here, but Schultes. In the feet of Eriksson. Eriksson, can Mashingades get it? Nope, but Sparks can get it. Sparks goes to Mashingades. Mashingades has space in front of him. Goalkeeper a little bit out of his box. Mashingades covered by Eriksson. Mashingades the cross. Right into the... and deflected out. Said take the corner kick. Will be number 23, Johnny Evans. Coming up here in the 42nd minute was a corner kick for the MOBA. Shikali and Colton stay back. Everybody else is in the box. Kick. Little flick on by Lorenzano. Nice behind the back kick in the feet of Sparks. Sparks can track it down with King pressuring. Asher cuts back inside, makes a man fall. And the tough challenge by King will give the MOBA an insane free kick opportunity just outside the box. Pass it back out to Dennis Sparks. Sparks into Spielman. Spielman with some space. Little chip on. Headed out by Lorenzano. Lorenzano into Taku Mashingades. Out to Sparks. Sparks from space in the cross. Finds Jeroen. Back to Taku Mashingades. Great pass by Jeroen. Taku. Oh, and that shot just goes over the bar. Mashingades hits the ground and just... Asher, back to Smith. Smith, a nice touch out to Sparks to keep the play back in the MOBA's possession. Sparks now back to Haig. Haig out wide to Sparks. The MOBA have, I'd say, have had the better edge. Into the ahead of, I think that's Cam. Dennis Sparks, great ball play to Lorenzano. Lorenzano on the right-hand side of the field. Has some space, waiting for somebody to get it for the cross. He crosses it, slips in the cross. Ian Smith almost got a head on it. Looking wide right for Dennis Sparks. Cuts it back to Casey Schultes. Back to Spielman. And back to Lorenzano. Omar Droon pressured by the defense of the Otters. And intercepted by Spielman. Spielman cuts it back. All the way back to Sparks. Sparks to Lorenzano. Back to Sparks. Sparks to Spielman. And back to Sparks. Sparks, along with Colton, has been the man of the match for Schultes. Schultes back to Lorenzano. Lorenzano to Spielman. And back to Lorenzano. Dennis Sparks up to Spielman. Spielman with some space. That was a great chance. That too much time with the ball left Omar Droon with not many options in terms of space to shoot. There was nobody down there to get the cross either. So defense of the Eagles. Sparks. Still Sparks. Up to Smith. Smith back to Evans. And a free kick for the MOBA. Surprisingly, only one yellow card's been issued in today's matchup, and that was to number 4, Nick Spielman. In about the 4th minute of the matchup. Matching Gates. Some space. Cross Sparks. Great pass. If you can keep it in balance. Great touch. Up to his Lorenzano. Lorenzano. Overlapping run is Smith. Smith. Smith still with it. Smith. Oh, and a great save by Cleveland. Smith still with it. He goes down. And no flag or no call is made. Shikali back to Sparks. Sparks up to Lorenzano. Lorenzano mishandles it, not for a throw-in for the Bantams. Occasion as Spielman heads it out. Headed out by Smith also. Spielman with it. Sparks takes it away. Nice job by Sparks. Now Jordan Day with some space. Covered by Whitley. Day. Taken by Fiddler. 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 Still Fiddler. Mashing Gates. Mashing Gates. Mashing Gates with some space. Flick kicks at the keeper. And he's in. It looked like he went in. And a goal for the MOBA! Day is a midfielder, but he's taken somewhat of a defensive mid / center back role here. In almost probably every game, actually. He's really good at. And Kyle Lancaster for the Peachtree MOBA. The substitute goalkeepers are Chris Page for Bree FC and Luke Osterley for the MOBA. I hope that answers your question. It looks like number 19, Ian Smith, seems to be trotting along, getting warmed up and set as a substitute for the MOBA. Don't know if that's any indication of. Now Sparks. Now Evans. Evans mistimed it, but gets back to him from courtesy of Smith. Sparks with it still. And then back to Lorenzano. And he crossed the field. There's a lot of space open on the left-hand side of the field, but Spielman has it. Needs to cross it. The flags are up in front of the MOBA. Sparks, Drewn. Drewn headed on to Schultes. Schultes gets to it. Still Schultes. Be giving away chances that they don't really need to be. Now Schultes on the right-hand side of the field. Deflected out by Radoslavich. Sparks, top key. Colton. Kenneth Conker on cover. Intercepted by Dennis Sparks. Back to Nick Spielman. Spielman coming up the center. And back out to Sparks. Haig. Up to Sparks. Sparks cuts back inside. The cross up top to King. King has some space in front of him. Keep it in bounds. He has Smith running the center, and the ball will be stopped by the defense of the Eagles. Now looking for an offside call, but it was not going to come, and he was onside, but the shot was just way too wide left. And out for a goal kick for the MOBA. And the goal kick will be taken quickly into the feet of Dennis Sparks. Sparks back to Haig. Haig out back to Sparks. Sparks the cross and headed out by Juan Sanchez. Evans with the ball, top of the key. Back to Sparks. MOBA having a great little attack here. Out to, I believe it's Evans. Evans with the cross into Smith. Oh, and the touch just goes out over the ball. Now went to Spielman. Spielman has Newton on coverage. Gets it out wide to Lorenzano, who has a wide open space in front of him. Now Evans with it, probably going to pass it inside. Finds Jeroen. Jeroen. Still Jeroen. Sparks. He's across it. Yeah, he goes back to Day. Johnny Ends back out wide. I believe that's Ryan King on the ball. Dennis Sparks. Back to King. King all back to Nick Haig. Schultes kind of leans back and gives it to Erickson as Mashing Gates has it now from Sparks. Mashing Gates gets in the center of Spielman. Spielman looks out wide for Day. Cuts it back and Colton looking. Sees the cross all the way over to Dennis Sparks. Coverage by McCain. And the ball go out for a MOBA throw-in. Schultes got knocked down looking for a foul. Not going to get any. Now Spielman with it for the MOBA. Spielman chip up to Sparks. Sparks with it. Sparks. Schultes now. Schultes took a little big touch, but he still has it. Schultes still. Schultes. Left-footed shot. Goal, MOBA! That Asher appears to be a 4-on-4. Casey Schultes cuts it back inside. Great pass to Dennis Sparks. Dennis Sparks, great move on the right-hand side. And a push right outside the edge of the box on Dennis Sparks. Goes out wide to Sparks. McCain on the coverage. Now back to Spielman. Schultes. Schultes. Jeroen. Sparks. Sparks appealing for the penalty, and the ref's not having any of it. Dennis, the ball played down to Casey Schultes on the right-hand side. Once again, another attempt for the MOBA. Into Omar Jeroen. Omar Jeroen almost gets his head on it.